Okay, today is August 8th, 2010, and we're here with Paul Epley and his son Kendall. And the reason that we're here is because he has had some experiences in the military that he has never shared before in a very public way. And he wants to get this out to the public. And Paul, can you real quickly tell us why you decided to get this story out?
I'm 80-year-old, not much longer to go, and I'd like to help Kendall as much as I can. That's the reason why I'm getting it out.
Okay, and you feel like this will help him?
It will.
Should. Right. It should. All right. I know a little bit about your background, so that's the reason I'll be able to ask some of these questions. First of all, tell me about your military service. What years were you in the military?
From 48 to 55.
What branch of the military?
Army.
All right. And what rank did you achieve?
I was a master sergeant, first sergeant, company commander, and worked for the government.
All right. During that time, and we're going to get right to the good stuff right off the bat, and then we'll explain some background after that. Right off the bat, go into the story of actually seeing one of the live aliens from Roswell. What I want you to do before you start is to picture that in your mind, and let's try to bring back as much detail as we can. All right? So just focus on that, nothing else but what you saw.
All right, this is in 1950, the summer, at Camp Perry, Virginia.
How do you spell that?
Williamsburg.
How do you spell that?
Perry?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
P-E-R-R-Y.
It is, okay.
And I went up there, Fort Eustis, I was stationed at Fort Eustis. We were working at Camp Wallace, down on the James River. And I don't know, I was with a research outfit. We built a tramway and all of this down there. Well, one day I went up to Camp Perry. I don't know, it was in the summer. I don't know exactly what date. But there was an MP guarding a bunker. And I knowed him because we served on wont together. I went down and asked him what he was guarding, and he said, I can't show you. So I kept talking to him. And he said, all right, I'll give you a brief look at it. So he opened the door, I don't know, 15, 20 feet from me, standing sideways, about 4.5 foot tall. And the color of it is what got my eyes and instead of looking at anything else, trying to figure out what color it was. But it was about 4.5 foot tall, standing sideways. I could see part of his eye. Look normal.
Okay, let's do the description by breakdown. First of all, what color did you determine that it was?
An orange, gray, dead-looking color.
An orange-gray kind of color?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Something like that, right.
Okay. And let's get into the details. You were seeing a profile of it?
Yeah, he was standing sideways to
Okay,
me in a little old cage.
All right, let's describe the head. What did you see with the head?
Head was kind of normal.
You mean like a human head?
Almost bald. Might have had a little bit of hair on it. But that's about all that I could tell.
All right. When you were looking at the profile, could you see the ear? Was it shaped like a human ear?
Ear was maybe a little different. Probably the same way. No big difference that I could tell.
Okay. They stuck out just like human ears.
Right.
All right. What about the profile on the nose? What did that
I didn't see that sideways. I could see the side of it. It looked like a normal nose.
Did it move while you were looking at it?
No, it did not move.
But you knew it was alive?
Yeah, it was alive.
How could you tell it was alive if it wasn't moving?
Just the way it was standing and everything.
It was standing.
And the guard told me, I asked him to come out. I said, it's alive, or your rig gets up. He said, no, that's what it is.
Okay. Did you see the hands?
One of them.
All right. And what was it, like a human hand?
Like a human hand. The fingers might have been a little longer.
As many thumb and four fingers like we had?
He's told me before them we had 4 fingers.
4 fingers and a thumb?
No,
Yeah.
And a thumb.
Same
Okay,
thing.
same as ours. All right, what about the arm? Was it longer than a human arm or
No,
the same?
about
the same.
thing.
And the legs?
Same thing.
So it looked pretty much like human beings, except smaller and skinnier, is that right?
Yeah, but, now the government got to me, I think it was at one of these meetings, you know, I told you that
Right,
FBI.
let's not go there yet. Let's stick with the description and get that out of the way.
All right, I might forget it then, okay, I thought of it at then. But there wasn't no whole lots of differences, I could tell, of course, I
Did it
was
have-
looking at the color,
Did it
trying to
have any
think of that.
clothing?
Have what?
Was it, did
It had a
have
little brief on,
a pair of briefs? That's it. And
all it was,
you told me earlier that I've heard that it was in a cage,
in a small cage.
all right? Approximately what size would that cage have been?
3 or 4
Foot square?
square, something like. Just a little old cage like that.
Okay. And the whole length of time that you saw this was about how long?
Couple minutes.
A couple minutes. All right. Can anybody else think of the question as far as the description?
Chest, maybe. Was there? Did it have a normal chest?
As far as I
Human
could tell,
chest?
it did, yeah.
What about the eyes?
Oh, he saw it from the side, I asked him.
Oh, yeah.
Can you, do the eyes from the side look normal, like humans?
The one on the side that I seen looked normal, as much as I could tell of it.
Okay, so it was very, very much like a human being,
How about
except
that?
for the color.
How about a mouth?
Hmm?
Mouth?
I didn't get a good look at the mouth.
Okay.
Sideways, couldn't tell much.
Did you feel like he was aware of you being in there?
I believe it was.
Okay. Did you feel anything telepathically from him? All right. Now, it's your understanding that this was one of the aliens from Roswell. Is that correct?
That's, I think now I'm pretty sure that the guard said that that was the 5th one from Roswell.
Okay. And how did it get to this base that you were at? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. He said it they come from Florida to Texas, and it was taking it up north somewhere.
So you're guessing it went from Roswell to Texas to where you were?
What that Texas come up and went on up where it was going.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you know anything about the facility where this was at? Was there a lot of secret things that went on there?
At Camp Perry?
Where you saw the alien?
At that time, Camp Perry was the most secret place that we had in America.
And what do you know that was going on there?
I didn't know much because I didn't stay there long.
Okay.
But I know it was a secret. You had to have top secret to get in.
Alrighty. So it would override something?
And what I went up there for, I thought, I can't remember what I went
why
for.
he had to go there.
Okay. Alrighty. Alright. Now, can you give us some idea of your background in the military? Besides, you already went through the ranks, but I know you were in Korea. Can you give us an idea of some of the unusual things that you had to do for the military?
Some of them? Well, I done one that they claimed I couldn't do, and that was fly a plane. I was taught how to take off in a plane in 2 or 3 weeks. Captain shouldn't ever dare to. I got to where I could take off, it's like driving a car. And they give me a mission, and I went ahead and done it. They told me to go down one day and get on the plane, call me down there. I then got on it, looked out the side, and it was putting something aboard it. So me and a captain had run this route a few days before. He showed me on the compass where to go and everything. And we got out over this little island in the Sea of Japan, and he told me to go ahead and hook up and jump out. And I remember
Now,
telling
what does
him,
that mean, hook up?
put your chute on.
Parachute.
Okay.
So he told me, said, go ahead and hook up and jump out. And I remember telling him, I said, Captain, I never have jumped. He said, go ahead and jump.
First time
So
I've
I
ever
hooked
had
up
that
and
before.
jumped. And I could see the plane, one motor had cut off. I could see the plane going down. So I landed on this island. One time I jumped, I hit in the water, the other time I hit the beach. You know, which was